The Mayor and City Council welcome you to the Peoria City Council meeting. As a courtesy to others, please silence all phones. If you would like to address an issue that is on the agenda, or if you would like to speak to the Council regarding a non-agenda item, please complete a speaker request form, which can be found in the front lobby of the Peoria City Council chambers or in the tray to the left of the speaker's podium. Please place the completed speaker request form in the second tray to the left of the speaker's podium labeled Request to Speak. All speakers will have 3 minutes to complete their comments. A countdown clock is easily visible on the left side of the wall behind the City Council dais. Only items listed on the agenda may be addressed by the Council. Since items presented as part of a speaker's request have not been listed on the agenda, and due to the requirements of open meeting laws, the Council will be unable to respond to items presented as part of the speaker's request. However, please be aware that your comments will be noted. The speaker's name will be called to speak at the appropriate time, in the order that the forms were received. Thank you for your interest and participation in the Peoria City Council meeting.
The Peoria City Council will now come to order. Please rise for a moment of quiet reflection and the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilmember Edwards.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The clerk will please call the roll.
Mayor Carlett,
Here?
Vice Mayor Binsbacher,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Hunt,
Here.
Councilmember Patena,
Here.
Councilmember Finn,
Here.
Councilmember Edwards,
Here.
and Councilmember Dunn.
Here.
Good evening and welcome to the Peoria City Council meeting of August 13th, 2019. We will begin our meeting this evening with the swearing in by Presiding Municipal Judge George Anaknost and seating of the new Council Youth Liaisons. I would like to ask Brighton Greathouse and Ratika Ravindan, and I will get that better, I promise you, as time goes on, to join our judge on the council floor. Go over near the podium there, and he will be right with you.
Evening. Mayor Carlett, members of council, Ms. Hickman, Mr. Tyne, it's a privilege for the court to be part of the process today for your new participants. If I could ask you, first, did you have parents or anyone else you want to stand with you? You're okay? Feel free to take any pictures you like. If I could ask you to please repeat after me, all right? I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the laws and the Constitution of the state of Arizona. And I will faithfully perform the duties of the office Youth Liaison for the city of Peoria to the best of my ability. Upon my oath, I do so swear. That's perfect. We have some certificates, Mayor, that symbolize what's going on. And it's Ms. Ravindran, correct? This is your certificate of appointment for today. And Ms. Greathouse, correct? Great. Members of the public, you can now add your applause to your new youth liaison for this year.
Thank you, Judge. And we will take a short 5-minute recess, and after that time, we would be honored to have you join us at the dais. Thank you. Peoria City Council meeting will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Carlet,
Here?
Vice Mayor Binswanger,
Here.
Vice Mayor Pro Tem, or Mayor Pro Tem Hunt,
Here.
Councilmember Patena,
Here.
Councilmember Finn,
Here.
Councilmember Edwards,
Here.
and Councilmember Dunn.
Here.
And our youth council liaisons?
I'm very sorry. Councilmember Liaison, or Youth Liaison Brighton Greathouse,
Here.
and Youth Liaison Ritika Ravindran.
Here.
Thank you. We will now proceed onto the consent agenda. All items listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine or have been previously reviewed by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion unless a council member requests an item to be removed and considered in the normal sequence of the agenda. I have received no speaker request forms or no request to have anything removed. Tonight's consent agenda includes items that require a public hearing. If there is a member of the public present who would like to address anything in the public hearing that is on the consent agenda, please complete a speaker request form and place it in the bin next to the speaker's podium. At this time, I have received no speakers request forms. Is there a member of the public who would like to address an item that is on the consent agenda? Seeing none. Council, are there any items to be removed from consent? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Council, please vote. And the consent agenda passes unanimously. We will now move on to new business and our regular agenda. And we will begin with item 30R, Water Infrastructure Finance Authority Loan, Drainage Improvements, Hatfield Road and Pinnacle Peak and 67th Avenue and the New River. We begin with a staff report from Mr. Tyne.
Great, thank you. And we have Sonia Andrews, our Chief Financial Officer, that will provide a presentation on this, and it is an action item.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. So item 30R is for the approval of a Water Infrastructure Financing Authority, or as we call it, WIFA loan. Let me start by giving you some background on what WIFA loans are used for and why we use them. So when we look to finance water and wastewater infrastructure, we're always looking for the lowest cost financing option available to us. And to finance water and wastewater infrastructure, we can use GEO bonds, we can use revenue bonds, or we have this option of using WIFA loans. And WIFA loans are low cost, there's no closing or issue costs, they're also low interest rates, and sometimes we qualify for some subsidies. And so with the low costs and subsidies, we can keep our water rates low, sewer rates low. And since 2000, the city has obtained over $195 million in WIFA loans. And here in pictures are some of the projects that were financed with WIFA loans over the last 20 years. The Pyramid Peak water treatment expansion, we obtained a $49 million WIFA loan for that. Greenway Water Treatment Plant, we obtained a $37 million loan for that. And the Butler Water Reclamation Facility, we obtained a $79 million loan for that. So the WIFA loans are very helpful for us because it provides low-cost financing and it helps keep water sewer rates low. The process for obtaining a WIFA loan, we have to get the water or wastewater related project on the WIFA priority list. We have to meet the WIFA requirements. Then we submit a WIFA financing application. It goes to the WIFA board for approval. And once the board approves it, we then ask for council's approval through a resolution. And then the last step is we complete the loan application. So tonight, we're asking council to approve a WIFA loan, which is step 5 of this process. The WIFA loan we're asking council to approve tonight is for drainage improvements that is in that little box there. So it is, the area is between the Hatfield Road in the north, the Pinnacle Peak Road to the south, and 67th Avenue on the east, and it goes all the way to the New River. The drainage improvements help alleviate flooding in that area, and it is approved in the CIP through the CIP process. And we applied for a WIFA loan. We got approved for $6.3 million. And here's the little bit of good news that we wanted to share. WIFA gave us a $1 million subsidy on this. And that means that we only have to repay $5.3 million of the loan. And the $1 million subsidy helps reduce the cost of the drainage project for us. It's about 13.5% of the project cost. So with that, the loan is a 20-year loan, and it's repaid through property taxes, just like a GO bond is. And so with that, I'll just, see if you have any questions.
Thank you. Council, any questions? The $1 million subsidy, is that due to our bond rating or anything that we have done to deserve that?
We qualified for that based on some, they have some criteria they go through to rate projects based on the environmental impacts, certain scoring that they do, and they are able to give us the subsidy, plus our good partnership with WIFA over the years.
That's great. Really good news. Okay, council discussion?
I just have one question, yeah. For me, it's a little bit hard to tell how large of an area that is. Is that about half a square mile, somewhere around in there? Is that about what that encompasses?
I'm going to phone a friend.
Okay.
I'm going to see if Adina is here to answer that question.
So your friend phoned a friend of their own?
Yeah.
Standing, okay, thanks, appreciate it.
So the answer is half a square mile. Okay, any further discussion? Do I have a motion? We have a motion and a second. Council, please vote. And item 30R passes unanimously. Thank you. We are now going to move on to the Vistancia West Community Facilities District Board meeting. And we are going to begin with the consent agenda, which consists of one item, 31C, discussion and possible action to approve the minutes from the May 21st, 2019 meeting. Board members, are there any items to be removed from consent? Seeing none, do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion is second. Board, please vote. Consent agenda passes unanimously. Continuing on with the Vistancia West Community Facilities District Board meeting, item 32R is a public hearing on feasibility report for issuance of Series 2019 general obligation bonds. And we are going to hear that in conjunction with item 33R, which is feasibility report to authorize the sale and issuance of the district general obligation bonds. So we will hear those together, Mr. Tyne?
Yes. Right, that's right, Mayor. And so we do have Sonia Andrews, our Chief Financial Officer, can present that presentation for the board.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tyne, and good evening, District Board. So I wanted to start out by sharing some background on Vistancia West CFD. The Vistancia West CFD was formed in 2015. The formation and the voters approved a maximum debt capacity of $9 million. That means we can only issue up to $9 million in debt for this CFD. And the purpose of the debt is to acquire water and wastewater infrastructure that benefits the CFD area. The tax rate is set at $2.10. As of May of 2019, there's 1,021 units planned for this CFD area. 628 homes already sold, and 101 homes under construction. So the Vistancia West area is part of the Trilogy at Vistancia. It's only the west part of Trilogy. And the purpose of this public hearing for the feasibility report is, first of all, it's required by the state statute. Whenever we issue debt to pay for water and sewer infrastructure in a special taxing district, we have to create a feasibility report, and then we have to hold a public hearing. And the purpose of the feasibility report is so that the board can approve the infrastructure that's going to be built and financed with the debt that we will issue. So what is in this feasibility report that we are holding a public hearing for? So the feasibility report will describe the two infrastructure that we will issue debt for, that we're asking council, the board to approve the debt for. So the two infrastructure here is, first is the Westland Water Campus. The total cost of that infrastructure that is built by a joint development agreement is $15.3 million. And then there's also the Lone Mountain Water Line, which is also constructed via a joint development agreement. That's $11.5 million. And as you can see, the Vistancia West CFD is the little blue box over there, that little area. And then that's the infrastructure that's getting built. The developers built that infrastructure and is now requesting that we reimburse them through this debt issuance. Now, we are only issuing debt for the proportionate share that Vistancia West is responsible for. So only the proportionate share that the Vistancia West residents benefit from. So the Vistancia West residents will not be paying the whole $15.3 million or $11.5 million. They're only going to pay $3 million of the cost for those two infrastructure. In 2016, we also issued debt, $3 million of debt for the Dysart sewer for the Vistancia West CFD residents, and now we're issuing $3 million of debt for the Westland Water Campus and Lone Mountain Water Line infrastructure. So that's what's in the feasibility report. It describes all this. So the item 32R is the public hearing, and the item 33R is the resolution that approves the feasibility report. It also approves the issuance of the GO bonds, and it also approves the 210 tax rate that's in place right now to repay the debt service on the bonds. So what we've done is we have made sure that we protect the interests of the Vistancia West CFD residents by making sure that we issue debt only for the proportionate share. That's their responsibility. There is no change to the 210 tax rate. We will not have to increase the 210 tax rate. The developers have agreed to make contributions to keep the 210 tax rate the same. And finally, we have made sure that the debt will be paid off in 2029, so it's only a 10-year debt, not a 20-year debt, so it doesn't extend for 20 years for the residents. It matures in 2029. And that's it, so I'm here to answer any questions if you have some.
All right. Council, are there any questions for item 32 or item 33R? Seeing none, I am going to take these separately now, and I will open the public hearing on item 32R. I declare this public hearing open on the feasibility report for issuance of Series 2019 general obligation bonds. If there is a member of the public who would like to speak to this issue, please feel free to go to the podium. And I see no members of the public who would like to speak on this, so I will close this public hearing. Board, is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we will vote on item 32R. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
A motion and a second, please vote. 32R passes unanimously. And we will now vote on item 33R. Any council discussion? Seeing none, do I have a motion?
So motion.
Second.
A motion and a second. Council, please vote. And that passes unanimously. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is call to the public for non-agenda items. If you wish to address the city council, please complete a speaker request form and place it in the bin next to the podium. I've received no speaker request forms. We will now move on to reports from the city manager. Mr. Tyne.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Appreciate this. And just two quick items. One was in between council meetings, we did see the retirement of a key personnel, and that was Laura Engineering, our Human Resources Director, who did recently retire. Laura was an outstanding leader here for the organization, really helped to ensure that Peoria was the employer of choice. So just wanted to acknowledge her amazing work that she did for us. In addition to that, we have just one item, a 30-second video featuring the upcoming exhibit of the Moving Wall in Peoria. This is the wall that is the replica of the Washington, D.C. Vietnam Veterans Memorial. Peoria is proud to host the wall at the Senator John McCain Vietnam Veterans Memorial Plaza at Rio Vista Community Park. And this will be from September 5th through September 9th. 24 hours a day it can be visited during that 5-day period. And before I show this, I did want to acknowledge Councilmember Patena, who really not only solidified the wall coming to Peoria, but indeed has worked hard to make this event a success. So with that, we'd like to show the video. And we hope that reflected well on the event itself. So with that, that is all I have, and thank you for the time.
Thank you. We will now move on to reports from the City Council, and we'll begin with Youth Council Liaison Greathouse.
I just wanted to take this time to thank you for the opportunity to be Youth Council Liaison. I'm looking forward to learning over the next year and representing the youth, and I plan on keeping you updated on what's going to be happening in the Youth Advisory Board. Thank you.
Thank you. We are happy to have you here. Welcome. Councilmember Patena?
Thank you, Mayor. On June 27th, had the opportunity to open, not me, but the city, the Community Resource Center. This resource center has been in the making for, I don't know, roughly about 15 years. Frankly, it helped to be on the council to push it along a little faster. So I was happy to do that. You know, we're a city of almost 180,000 people, and to be able to offer our citizens this type of service where they can go if they're having some issues in their family or they know somebody that's having an issue. We have over 200 not-for-profits that are available to them to assist them or to help them with whatever issue they're having. So I'm really proud to have that open. And my understanding from Karen Ivick, I talked to her the other day, she said right now the place is packed, a lot of walk-ins coming in, and that's the best message I could have heard from her. So I'm really happy that to announce that that's finally open. July 4th, attended the All-American Festival. Great event, free this year, a lot of people, good fireworks, and it is one of the city's best events that we put on every year. So, and then on August 6th, I had the opportunity to speak at the Chamber Breakfast. It's a once-a-month opportunity, not for me, but for other speakers as well. It was at the Montecito Senior Living Center. I had an opportunity to talk to them about what's going on in the city of Peoria and what lies ahead for us in the future. So upcoming events, on August 20th, 22nd, we'll be at the League of Cities, most of us, conference in Tucson. It's an opportunity to connect with fellow representatives, learn the best practices, and see what's new in the world of municipal government. That should be a good 3 or 4 days. And then again, as Jeff mentioned, September 5th through 9th, thank you for your kind words. We are having the Vietnam Moving Wall Memorial. Very proud to bring this into the city of Peoria. The opening ceremony is going to be at 8 o'clock in the morning, September 5th. I hope all of you can attend. If not, it'll be open 24 hours a day up until September 9th. Also like to welcome Brighton and Ritica. I look forward to working with both of you for the next year. And I can't speak for Ritica, but I know I'll take good care of you. So good for you to be here. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Finn?
Wow, Riddick, I'll look out for you if he's not going to. Wow.
Cold.
Unbelievable. Just a couple of quick comments. First of all, I want to remind the Palo Verde residents that the bulk trash pickup begins September 5th in our area, so you can go onto the Peoria website and see exactly when those large pickups are going to be happening. So try and keep reminding as it goes through our district. Brighton and Ritica, welcome, both of you. Both of you.
Sorry.
Every every year, it seems like we kind of raise the bar a little bit, and I'm sure that this year is going to be no different with the two of you on here. So I welcome you both, and I'm sure it'll be a great learning experience for you. And then finally, after coming off of the summer break for us, I know that you guys didn't get a break in the staff, but I can't tell you how nice it is to come back to a group of people that I enjoy so much spending time with, and staff that is so amazing. I'd forgotten how incredible the staff is when they give these presentations and they know everything, you know, just boom, boom, boom. Hunter Clare's presentation tonight was just unbelievable. I mean, he just absolutely crushed it. I don't know if Hunter's still here, but man, that was a very, very good presentation. So congratulations to him for knocking that out of the park. So glad to be back, and that's all I have.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Binsbacher?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, it is great to be back. I feel like it wasn't really much of a break because it seemed like there was a lot going on in the city, a lot of events and some community meetings. I do want to congratulate Councilman Patena and all of the council and staff on the Community Resource Center. This is just a fantastic amenity for our citizens. I'm so proud to offer a resource like that in our city. And I know a lot of hard work went into that. I also want to say how much I'm looking forward to the moving wall. I think that experience is going to be really special. I also want to say that look for more information on an upcoming Peoria Country Music Festival at Lake Pleasant. Something new and exciting, and there'll be more details on that, but tickets are on sale and they're going fast. And I want to welcome Ritika and Brighton to the dais and to work with the City Council, and our door is always open to you, and I look forward to a great year and watching you all flourish and grow. It's going to be great. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilmember Edwards?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, Ritika and Brighton, congratulations and welcome aboard. And if there's anything I can do to help you, please don't hesitate to reach out. The summer was a flurry of activity. I'm not going to name them all, but just a couple that really stood out was, I just want to do a special shout out to the Friends of the Public Library. The events that they had over the summer, there was the Moonshot Bingo and the Alien Invasion. These events had over 650 students attending these events, and it was just great to see all of these young individuals come out and partake in the library. And I just want to thank staff so much for hosting those events, and anything I can do to help in future events, just don't hesitate to let me know. I did attend I want to do a special shout out to the police department and their Explorer program. You guys did a great back to school program where you filled the cruiser for all the kids, and that was a great turnout at both of the stations. I was able to do the one down at City Hall here, and you had a great turnout. So I just want to thank the staff and all the Explorers for their participation. And then finally, a special shout out to AFSCME and PPOA. I attended an event, the back to school supply giveaway over at the community center. You guys did a phenomenal job. You had over 530 students or young individuals out there braving 106-degree heat it was. They were lined up all the way around that building, and you guys during the whole time passing out water, making sure people had shade. The individuals that had special needs, you were able to bring them in and keep them cool, all the while seeing to the needs of all those kids. And I don't think there's a single kid that left that place that didn't have the school supplies that they needed to start the school right. So I want to thank AFSCME, Walter and Eric, I want to thank you guys. And Chief, if you can thank your PPOA membership, because a phenomenal event. So that's all I had, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Hunt?
Thank you, Mayor. Well, I want to start out too saying I'm very happy to be back. I can only take so much of time off, and then I start getting antsy, and so it's very, very good to be back. And again, I really need to give a shout out to our amazing staff. Kevin, you back there? Kevin and Kevin Berg, Janet Ramsey, and Mike Jones, just above and beyond. I had heard from several neighbors that lived along 77th Avenue that the road was really bad and they were wearing out tires and so on. And these guys came in and completely, I mean, they didn't do it, okay? They had people who did it. But they were in charge, and they got what would have been a multi-month, half a year or more project done of completely ripping out that old road, which was about 30 years old, and put in a completely new road, didn't just resurface, but it's a completely new road, 77th Avenue from Peoria down to Mountain View, and they did it in 28 days, and the reason that they were committed to doing it that quickly was because an elementary school, Santa Fe Elementary, was to start the beginning of, or the end of August, actually, and they wanted to make sure that the road was ready for those parents and buses and drop-offs and so on. And just, you guys are amazing, and please pass my thanks along to Janet and to Mike, and just tell them how grateful those people are too that live along there. And thanks to we have a new charter school right there on about 77th and Peoria, and it's called the Academy of Math and Science. And they put in a stoplight there at Peoria and 77th because they knew that their student body was going to be impacting that area to the extent, and then with Santa Fe kids walking down, that they needed a safe passage across Peoria Avenue. And so thank you to Academy of Math and Sciences for footing the bill on that stoplight, and we are really appreciative, as I know the parents are, who can know that their kids are going to travel across there safely. We have so much activity going on in Old Town, and I don't know the date, it was about 3 weekends ago, the Iron Key Studios opened in the old Hood building on the corner of Washington and 83rd Avenue. And it's open 7 days a week, morning to evening, whatever those exact hours are. And it's a gallery, it's an art gallery. It's all kinds of art in there. It's amazing. There's some maker space in there. And just go in. If you like art, that's going to be the place to be. And we also have 2 vintage shops, and these are really nice shops, and they're around on Grand Avenue on the access road, just before you get to 80th Avenue. So there are going to be real comers there in Old Town. I can't say enough, and thank you, John, for opening the door for me to talk about Friends of the Peoria Public Library. Those friends get more done on a volunteer basis than any other group I know. I donate every year books to new teachers at all of the Title I schools in South Peoria here, and they get those books together. They choose them based on the grade level that new teacher is teaching, and you should see the faces of those new, usually really young teachers that are coming. They don't have hundreds of dollars to spend, but they know the importance of getting their kids in there reading right away. So thanks to the friends for putting that all together and making the baskets look nice, and they're just a really great group. ASME and PPOA and the others, the Advantage Landscaping, and I know there were others that I don't even know who was there. Thank you so much. That was so well organized, and no, you said no child left without a backpack. That's true, but I didn't see a child leave without a big smile. And there's nothing like a nice backpack, and the little girls with their little pink backpacks. It was just amazing. Those are children that will get a really good start in school because they won't feel less than. They'll feel like they're just any other kid going to school and ready with pencils and pens and crayons and paper and all that stuff that can cost a parent $50 or $60, and a lot of parents don't have it. So thank you, guys. Is this the second or third year? Second year, and it gets bigger and better. It was bigger and better this year. And I think that's all I have. So thank you all for turning out tonight. Oh, I want to welcome Ratika and Brighton tonight. And you talk about what you'll learn this year, and you really will learn a lot, but we will learn a lot from you. We will really learn a lot about the students in our city and what their needs are, and you guys are chosen because you're special. And so you will really bring a special quality to, not just to the dais, but to our everyday lives in Peoria. So thank you for being here and committing a year of your life. That's really all I have.
Thank you. Councilmember Dunn?
Thank you. Yes, welcome Ritika and Brighton. You guys are a resource, and I found out already. I mean, I came up, introduced myself, and let you know I've been working with West Valley Veterans Center, and they help veterans from combat veterans. And there's a veteran in particular, 27 years old, battling cancer, and his family's away, and they've already agreed to help get some letters to him to kind of lift his spirits. So thank you very much, and what a great addition. Welcome. I had also attended the grand opening of the Resource Center, and I'll tell you, just going through there, so many people, residents are utilizing the services, and there are some great services for our elderly community, people that, just want to get away and use the computers. There's workouts, and then they held the backpacks with ASME and the PPOA, and again, Advantage Landscaping. But to see all those families there, having their needs met and the smiles on their faces, the kids coming out, it was just very touching. They also had St. Mary's Food Bank there, so it was a fantastic event. I attended the South Peoria Community Leadership Meeting, and that's very informative. We always have our police department come out and address the residents on how they can be safer. We met with Polynesian Village, a manufactured home community, and this was a fantastic time to bring out code enforcement. We brought fire, we brought police, animal control, and it was really nice for the residents to all get together and meet and learn more about our city and what we provide. I did do a tour of a business in the Pine District, TYR Tactical, and they're adding another addition, and it's really something to see because they employ quite a few people that actually they manufacture soft armor, and then they're going to have an addition to do the hard armor. And they're a military contractor, and they deal with several countries, not only the United States, but Canada, Israel, several other countries. So I'm glad to have them in the Pine District and in Peoria and contributing to the economy. And I think that's all I have, but thank you.
Thank you. Youth Council Liaison Ravindran?
I would also like to thank the City Council for giving me the opportunity to be one of their youth liaisons this year. I know I'm going to learn a lot, and I already know that this year is going to be incredible. And the experience I'm going to gain is invaluable. Thank you.
Thank you. We're very happy to have you here. Welcome to the dais.
Thank you.
And I just want to take a minute this evening to acknowledge our first responders. Every day, all across our nation, our police and our fire departments are faced with unthinkable and dangerous situations. And I am brought to talk about this because 2 weeks ago, or less than that, our entire nation was once again rocked by senseless acts of violence. Violence that has absolutely no place in civilized society. I would like to say to the mothers, the fathers, the brothers, sisters, friends, and communities shaken by this hate, we mourn with each of you, and we pray for your strength as you move forward. And to the men and women who have made the courageous decision to protect our Peoria community, thank you. Thank you for choosing to serve others. Thank you for addressing the issues and the challenges that our society faces with a heart full of compassion. And we thank you for your unrelenting resolve to represent and protect what is right and what is just in this world. It is your valor and your devotion that allows Peoria families to enjoy the comforts of our incredible community and to rest easy each night. We are eternally grateful. And with that, we are adjourned.